There you can see Congress leader and many women leaders as well. They're protesting, many of them dragged away by the police. What I'm asking is, so there you can see a third day of this confrontation between the police, paramilitary forces there, security and the Congress workers who are protesting the questioning of Rahul Gandhi by the Enforcement Directorate in this manner. The Congress, remember, making it this show of strength.
देखिए, बहुत ही दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है और मैं समझती हूँ कि लोकतंत्र के हनन का इससे बड़ा कोई प्रत्यक्ष प्रमाण नहीं कि राजनीतिक दल के संघर्ष के साथियों को, कार्यकर्ताओं को न दफ्तर में आने दिया जा रहा है, न दफ्तर के बाहर शांतिपूर्वक तरीके से प्रदर्शन करने दिया जा रहा है। हम जो स्वतंत्रता संग्राम की विरासत है, अखबार, उसे बचाने की कोशिश में नेशनल हेरल्ड में हमने 90 करोड़ रुपए खुद दिया और हम पर आरोप लग रहा है कि हम पैसे का गबन कर रहे हैं। नॉट फॉर प्रॉफिट कंपनी है यंग इंडिया, सेक्शन 25 कंपनीज एक्ट, जिसका मतलब है कि 1 रुपया ना वेतन के तौर पे लिया जा सकता है धारक को, ना प्रॉपर्टी ट्रांसफर हो सकती है। तो ये मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का केस बनता कैसे है? मैं जरूर ये कहूंगी कि निसार में तेरी गलियों के वतन कि जहाँ चली है ये रस्म कि कोई न सर उठा के चले।
All right, so there you have Congress leader Ragini Nayak there who was taken away by the police as she protested and hitting out at the police. Remember, she's a spokesperson of the Congress and she was also youth Congress worker earlier, and so it's the third day of these protests in front of the Congress office and this face-off with the Delhi police that we've been seeing as Rahul Gandhi has been summoned for the third day of questioning. He has gone to the Enforcement Directorate office, but the Congress party really making this a big show of strength and a protest over this given. And they've been hitting out every morning with press conferences in which they've alleged the reason that Rahul Gandhi is being targeted is because of the issues that he has been raising, and he's the one who's most critical of the government, and this is a diversionary tactic by the centre. And there you can see visuals of Rahul Gandhi's car is on its way to the ED office for another day of questioning. Yesterday he was questioned for 11 hours. After he was finally released late in the night, he went to the hospital to meet his mother. Remember, Congress President Sonia Gandhi is also an accused in this National Herald case, and she has also been summoned, but she's suffering from COVID and is in hospital right now. So her questioning will take place later. But there you can see some of the journalists they're running after the vehicle there. I think it's the vehicle where Rahul Gandhi is going to the ED office. And today as well we're seeing this confrontation taking place between Congress workers and the police dragging away Congress workers who are protesting in front of the Congress office. And for a third day, major barricading, major police presence on that road in central Delhi outside of the Congress office and in front of the Enforcement Directorate office as well, where section 144 is in place. So once again, Congress workers protesting today, Delhi police taking them away. It is a third day of this sort of drama that we've been seeing in front of the Congress office. On Monday, the Congress was determined to march with Rahul Gandhi to the ED office. That was thwarted by the Delhi police, who did not give permission for the march, and section 144 was also put in place in front of the ED office. So for a third day, we're having these similar scenes of confrontation playing out in front of the Congress office, and many of those leaders and workers have been bundled into buses. You have this morning Chief Ministers of Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan also addressing a press conference where they hit out at the government and said because Rahul Gandhi has been raising various issues against the government, he is being targeted in this manner. So another day of high drama with Rahul Gandhi being questioned in the National Herald case yet again. The BJP has been hitting out over these demonstrations and calling it a celebration of corruption and saying the Congress, what is wrong and what are they afraid of in Rahul Gandhi's question. Let's go across to Arvind for more. And Arvind, has he arrived at the ED office yet?
Yeah, Gargi, Rahul Gandhi has just arrived at the Enforcement Directorate office. His vehicle, his convoy is just entering the Enforcement Directorate premises. So shortly from now, his questioning will begin for the third consecutive day. In last 2 days, he has been questioned for over 21 hours. And today, for the third straight day, Rahul Gandhi has just arrived at the Enforcement Directorate office, wherein the Enforcement Directorate will begin questioning of Rahul Gandhi, and the agency will also record his statement. So what we are being told is that today also it will be a long day for Rahul Gandhi here at the Enforcement Directorate office. Even the agency is trying to conclude the questioning by today, but we'll get to know only at the end of the day whether the agency has any more questions left for Rahul Gandhi. But it looks so that the agency is also trying to wrap the questioning today. But Rahul Gandhi has just arrived here at the Enforcement Directorate office as we speak.
Right, and Arvind, what do we know about the questioning so far? We know that some 25 questions were asked of Rahul Gandhi. He's given replies, and he studied them very carefully before finally submitting it. This is the kind of information we have so far on the questioning.
Yeah, Gaji, on day one, he was asked somewhere around 20 to 25 questions. And what we are being told is even yesterday, it was similar kind of 20, 25 odd questions to Rahul Gandhi. In total, we can say that somewhere around 40 to 50 questions have been asked to Rahul Gandhi. So it's like in Enforcement Directorate, you have to give a written statement because it's an admissible evidence in court. Then it has to be a written statement. And that's why it's taking quite a time, unlike other police agencies, because here every statement is being duly recorded. And then Rahul Gandhi has also, after reading those statements, he has to sign every page of the statement that is given to Enforcement Directorate. He has to sign it also. So it's a very complicated process when it comes to the Enforcement Directorate questioning. So what we are being told is that even in the last 2 days, though the questioning got over, even yesterday when the questioning got over somewhere around 10 p.m., it took almost 1 hour, 30 minutes for Rahul Gandhi to verify his statement again, because he got all the papers again, because he has to sign it, this entire statement. So he went through the statement that he gave, the answers that he gave to the written question. So he went through it and then he signed each and every paper, and that's why he came out somewhere around 11:45, even though the questioning got over 10 o'clock. So what we are being told is that according to the Enforcement Directorate officials, there are a few more questions left to be asked to Rahul Gandhi, and then the agency also going through the answers that Rahul Gandhi has given in the last 2 days. Usually after the Enforcement Directorate procedure, first day they will ask a set of questions, they will look at the answers what Rahul Gandhi has given to those questions on day 1. Again on day 3, the same set of or similar questions will be asked to the person being questioned, and then again they will match the answers what was given on day 1 and also what answer that was given on day 3. So that's something that the Enforcement Directorate usually opt as the strategy during questioning, and similar kind of strategy is also being opted for Rahul Gandhi also, and that's why it's taking quite a long time in this entire questioning process.
All right, and Arvind, at this point, we again saw scenes of confrontation between Congress workers and, the police in front of the Congress office. You said that Congress MPs are also going to be protesting at Parliament today. So again, it's a third day of these sort of dramatic scenes.
Yeah, Gargi, it's day 3. When it comes to questioning of Rahul Gandhi, it's day 3. And also the Congress workers and leaders are also hitting the streets for the third consecutive day. So from MPs, from senior leaders, from CWC members, Congress Working Committee members, let it be 2 chief ministers of the Congress party, both Bhupesh Baghel from Chhattisgarh and Ashok Gehlot from Rajasthan, they are also on the front, taking this protest, leading this protest. All these senior leaders have also been protesting. Even Priyanka Gandhi, who is also on and off from the hospitals, Gangaram Hospital, where her mother Sonia Gandhi is being treated. She is also visiting the detained Congress leaders. Even yesterday, she came to the ED office to pick her brother when Rahul Gandhi exited the Enforcement Directorate office after questioning, and then both of them went to Sonia Gandhi's hospital also. So all senior leaders are continuing with their protest. Even today, the Congress Lok Sabha have changed their strategy because the Delhi police have detained them, not allowing them to go anywhere near the Congress office, etc. And that's why they changed their strategy, using their parliament privilege. They have gone to the parliament, and then they are protesting near the Gandhi statue. So that's why Congress is also coming up with new strategies with the crackdown of the Delhi police. But what we are being told is that the Congress party is actually planning to sustain this protest, because this protest has to be has to be sustained till June 23rd, because June 23rd is the day when Sonia Gandhi will be appearing before the Enforcement Directorate. That's why the Congress party is also very tactically maintaining this kind of protest. They are also revising their strategy so that this particular protest can be sustained at least till June 23rd.